I'd be like, can't heal. Yeah.
It's more like I had this in this. I don't know. Yeah, a lot of I do that.
Well, I mean, I kind of wish that.
Yeah, I don't think it's hard to say that in a way that doesn't say, like, I know I lack this, but I have like more not to say what you lack. Cover letters.
Still interesting.
This is when I could start a job. It's good to say
Guy told me to go come back to spring.
It's like I love Halloween
yeah, like if I get a job.
We're like 6:30 today. What are you going to do?
I'm biology. I know bio, but I think
Okay, I was like, but then I was like, how long did it go
and I had like
5 days? So bad.
and like white shirt.
Oh, okay.
Had like a plastic sword.
Triangle and like
So when I found out
Do you have a book at all? They let you bring the book.
Okay, great, thank you. So first, who can tell me what looks good about this cover letter, just generally speaking? Yeah?
He addresses a specific person, he doesn't just use like a generic sir, ma'am.
Okay, yeah, very good. They address a specific person, it's not just a generic sir or ma'am, and we'll talk about that a little bit more soon as well. Okay. Okay, what about anybody else? Sure.
She takes two, like, really good examples and elaborate a lot on them to prove why she'd be good.
Okay, very good. Two specific examples with a lot of elaboration on both of them. I saw another hand. Here. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say something similar. I thought that she was concise without being like too blunt. Like she definitely elaborated a lot on her experiences.
Okay, yeah, very good. Anybody else? Yeah.
She used action verbs.
Yeah, action verbs and very key vocabulary. That's very good. Very good notice of that. So next, how has this person demonstrated that she's a good fit for the position? I know you don't know exactly what the position is yet, but how has she done that? What do you see? Okay, very good. So she made connections from previous positions and elaborated on how they would help in this position. That's very good. Anyone else?
And this can be kind of difficult to do because you want to be stating why you're qualified, but at the same time, like not appear that you're like bragging or saying like I'm so great. But a way to do that is to be looking at the career guide that like good action groups, and don't sell yourself short. Definitely, you are capable of getting this position. You have to show them that.
So she said exactly what she wanted to do for this position. Like it was very concise and clear right there. Anybody else for this one? Okay, so for our last question, how has she shown initiative and dedication here? Yeah.
One of her experiences, she created and facilitated interactive and optional programs. She started something in this sorority that wasn't there before, so she took the initiative to fill a need.
Yeah, very good. And that was down in the third paragraph? Third paragraph, yeah. Very specific.
Also, if like trying to thinking of ways that she's shown initiative to getting this job, like ways that she's shown like she really cares about this job, she really wants this job.
Well, you can tell she's like done research about like the position and job and like understands what exactly they're looking for and like cater her experiences for that specifically.
Definitely.
You really want to show that like you know a lot about this company, like you're invested, you put time into this.
Yeah, just bouncing off of that, like, they're all very specific to the job, the qualities, like having,
Job position there, this shows that this isn't like a generic cover letter that she just made up and like is gonna send like 100 other things she's applying for, like this is specific for this job and this is specific.
Yeah, it's like personal to her and to the company.
So you can definitely tell that she tailored it specifically to this job description. So I'm actually going to review the job description. So the job description for this cover letter, it says the Career Development Center provides programs and services that facilitate career development and job placement among NC State University students, and it's got job duties such as providing individual and group career coaching, career and professional development, interpreting career assessment tools, and facilitating a career identity plan for students. So I just want y'all to see that, like, does that help with some of these more specific examples as well? Like, you can see how very specific she's gotten in writing this cover letter for this very specific job description that she had.
Does anyone have any critiques of this cover letter?
like that she mentioned she was moving to Raleigh, but I don't like how she included all the other personal details, like I didn't smell the job at all.
Yeah, like she's like to be closer to her family and her partner and stuff.
And like she mentioned her partner did graduate work, and I'm just like, it didn't have anything to do with the job.
Okay, yeah. It's definitely like a fine line we were talking earlier about, like between being personal enough that they like can remember you and like they know who you are, why you want to be here and stuff, and then like still making sure that you're very professional.
I thought at one point, at some points it started using so many fluff words, it seemed disingenuous.
Okay, yeah. I could see that also. Something that I've noticed in this particular one is that there's not a lot of statistics, and that's something that normally you would want a lot of to show that you are qualified. But since the job that she's applying for is like a career identity coach, it's a little bit harder to have statistics. And since it's more career counseling, things like communication skills, team oriented, are good things to note that she has, or good skills. Yeah, it's like a little bit hard in this, but you know how in your resume as well, you would want to have like good facts, and if you have a lot of numbers, it can really back up. Like instead of saying for career masters, like I present to students on cover letters, I could say I presented to 50 students this week and stuff like that. You know, to just like really show that you are qualified.
It's similar to quantify your experiences. So if you do something, say how many times you've done it, like you done it for 5 years, don't just say like you did it.
And that should really be shown in your resume as well too, more than in your cover. Okay, anything else? Like the introductory paragraph?
Like, you don't want to ramble in this section. You don't want to ramble in the whole thing because you are limited to one page. For this section, like, she does a good job in it, and I think the way she addresses the experiences in the middle two paragraphs, that shows what you're talking about as well. Like, it's not explicitly stated, but you can see that, like, the example she's picking and the way she's shaping it around what she'll be doing here at State is reflected in what she's done in the past. So that's kind of how she's showing it.
Your body paragraph should definitely be the biggest section because the introductory one, like, yes, you want to show that you have a lot of knowledge about the company and that you'd be a good fit at the company, but at the same time, like, the company already knows about the company. They want to know about you. And normally we would advise just having one paragraph for the body, as we were saying earlier, but you can see here that she has two, which I think was necessary because they're pretty distinct experiences and they both really market herself. So it's like up to your discretion.
Yeah, it's a very personal choice here, like what you want to highlight. If you want to go with maybe one example and talk a lot about one example, that's another way to do it with one paragraph. Like, it just depends on you, depends on the job. It's just what you feel best. There's a lot of gray area in this particular section.
Okay, so now that does anyone have anything else to say about this? Now that we've talked about this cover letter and showing sample one, we're going to go over formatting a little bit. So as you can see what she did, you're going to include your contact information at the top of the letter, and Emma will talk more about that, how to do that in the next slide. But then you can also see the example here in your cover letter, which I feel free to take these notes so that you guys have a good example when you're making yours. You want to be addressing it to a specific person. You want to make sure you have your signature at the bottom. We prefer like a handwritten signature. We think it really shows like a lot of drive, initiative, like you put a lot of effort into this. You can also like type it like that, up to you. You always want to have it at a 10 or 12-point font. 12-point font is like pretty standard, that would be the best, but you really want to make sure that your cover letter is under one page, so you can use 10-point font if you really feel like you need it, you can't cut any information. And then if you save it as a PDF file instead of a Word document, then the formatting will be preserved, which just like wants that like professional to be ready. So always have it as a PDF if you're applying something online.
Okay, so this is a good overview of a general heading format that you're going to put on the top of your cover letter. So at the very top, you're going to put your own address, and it's kind of the same concept as a return label on a letter that you're mailing, there's a letter. So, you're going to put yours first, and then below that, you're going to have 2 spaces, 1 space, and then the date. So set that off. And that's going to be the date that you sent in your cover letter. And this is important because, maybe if the applications are read on a rolling basis, you could, things could get backed up, and they could end up looking at your cover letter a couple days later than you sent it in. So this lets the company or whoever's reading this, they know when you sent it in, so they know that you are on time and on top of things. So just in case it gets read a little late, so that's a good reason to put that. Below that, you're going to put the name and address of the person who will be reading your cover letter. So they have, they have a name and an address. So this is where you want to really do your research on the company and find out who's reading your cover letters, who's the, recruitment manager, the hiring manager, whoever's going to be doing this. For bigger companies, this could be a little harder. They might not put that information on the website. It might be something that goes through a chain of command of people, so there's not one person that's going to be reading it. It might just be something that's really hard to find. So in this case, or in that case, it's okay to leave the name off, and then you're going to address the cover letter to to whom it may concern. And with a bigger company, that's okay, but definitely try your hardest to find a specific person. That again shows that you've done your research and are very serious about this company.
On the example, it says you use a colon, so.
Yes, so that's a little bit up for debate as well. This is another one of those personal matters. So with this, below that you got your salutation. So kind of a general rule is if you say dear, you're going to put a comma, but if you're addressing it memo style, like to whom it may concern, you'll put a colon. It's just kind of one of those little nuances that it's not make or break if you put a colon or a comma.
But it's more formal, but then if you're saying dear, like you generally would want a comma because then it's like a letter,
So it's not